self-improvement. And next thing you know, I'm like 2 minutes late. So hello everybody. So I was surprised when I popped on here to add the link for the spreadsheet for the Wheel of Names. And Yvonne, I'm impressed. You were the first one on here. I talked to her earlier and she was talking about going and taking a nap. And she's going to set the alarm so she didn't miss tonight. So I'm impressed. She was the first one on. Okay, let's see. I actually went and took a nap. I actually took two naps today. I took one during my lunch hour, and then I took another like short one after I was done working today. So yeah, I got up like pretty early, so I was tired. So okay, so we got. Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's put this on live chat. Um, I was wrong. Yvonne wasn't the first one. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where am I? Hold on. Froggy was the first one on. Then Yvonne. Um, okay. I was wrong. Yvonne wasn't the very first one. Froggy was. Let's see. Just scrolling through. So we got Froggy and Yvonne, and we got Terry and Carol and Sharon. um, and Tracy. We got our usual crowd. Thank you for coming. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Oh, okay. Well, it don't matter. You're here. You didn't forget. Okay, so what do I got to talk about first? What do I want to talk about? So, yeah, the projects. Now, let me just say about tonight's the products that I'm using tonight. Yeah. When I decided to put together everything for what happened? Am I wrong? I don't know. Um I get very squirrely very easily. It's like if I look at something, I lose track as to, what I am talking about. But anyway, so the when I was choosing everything that I'm going to use for this whole month, I threw in some things for Friday that on my Fridays that I haven't used yet, not knowing that so far, I think, was it last Friday night? And then turns out this Friday night stuff that I'm using are items that just went on the last chance list. So I will tell you that everything that I am using tonight, um, I think every single thing on here is on the last chance list. Um, and it's discounted too. So if it's something that you don't have and you want to purchase it, I think with this one, let me see, what am I doing on the go? Um, don't don't buy the actual bundle. Buy them separately because I believe everything on this is discounted. Um, yeah, the stamp set has gone from 21 to 1470. Now, of course, these amounts I'm giving you are US. So the dies went from 22 to 1540. Uh, the puffy stickers went from 8 to 560. The paper 1250 to 625. Um, I think, hold on. Oh yeah, and even the pack your bags twine. So the twine that comes in these colors. So Azure Afternoon, what was that, Strawberry Slush, and then Shy Shamrock. Yeah, that was 7. That's come down to 560. I gotta look close because I got a light kind of glaring on it. And then there are Suit Kate treat boxes. These things right here. Now I'm not using these on any of my projects tonight. Um, but those even came down from 8 to 560. So everything in this whole suite is discounted. So if it's something you don't have and after you see the projects you want it, I'm just putting it out there that, yep, it's on the last chance list. And then the what I'm doing next Friday, um, the terrific toadstools. Um, yeah, that's the one with the mushrooms. That's going to be next Friday, and I don't think that's discounted. I think that actually carried over to the annual catalog. So I don't think that, no, that's not marked down. So that's not going anywhere. So yeah, so yeah, just like last week, that whole suite that is on the last chance. And so this one's too. And then after next Friday, then the last 2 Fridays of October is going to be Halloween. And I know that some of you don't do Halloween at all. So when I do, the wheel of names for those lives, then I can substitute a card. If you put your name on there, you don't do it, I can substitute a different card because I think that's what happened last year. Um, didn't want the Halloween, and I get it. I mean, I don't really celebrate it either. And the thing is, like, that very, the gory stuff and everything and the horror and all, I don't like it either. But I like cutesy Halloween. I like doing projects that are Halloween. Only I guess only because it's during the fall and it kind of flows in with the pumpkins and all that. So I'm okay with it. I mean, like I said, I don't celebrate it, but I just want to put that out there. Um let me see. Now, I am using something tonight that is retired, but I'm kind of hoping that, maybe most of you already have it. It was a project that when I was looking for ideas, uh, s- this particular punch was used, and when I looked, it's like we don't even have it on the last chance list anymore. So I guess when it went to retire, it went pretty quick. So yeah, other than that, everything in here is current and very minimal on the ink that I use, as far as ink colors that I use. So yeah, those cards should go pretty quick because, like I said, I got everything prepared on this, and stuff that needed to be fussy cut is already done. We don't want to be doing that stuff while I'm doing a live, but other than that, that's really all that there is really going on. Um, it's been nice here the past couple of days, like yesterday. I was up early, and when I left here, it was nice and cool outside. And it was like that the whole day. Now the sun was out, there was a nice breeze. So when I came back here while I was working, I had all the windows in this place open. It felt really good. Air conditioner was turned off. And then today, again, we had another cool morning. And when I came back here again, the windows all open. There wasn't as much as a breeze as there was yesterday, but it was still comfortable. I didn't I didn't have to turn a fan on. Like I said, the AC was off, so it was all good. Um, yeah, this morning, I realized that one of the things I really need to pay attention to, if I usually when I leave here and I go anywhere, I will set my alarm. And I'm usually pretty good that once I get my car backed into the spot and before I get out of it, I will open up the app on my phone and I will disarm it. And I thought I did that. I had the thing open and I thought I disarmed it. And I really need to pay attention on my phone to see that it says disarmed, because when I came in the door, usually, from the sensors, like if you open a window or if you open a door, you kind of hear that little chime. Well, that's not what I heard. I was hearing like a different sound. And when I went and looked at the alarm box, it was like blinking, a blue light. So usually a blue light means that the alarm was set. If it's green, it's all good to go. Yeah, well, within like a moment or two after being inside the door, the dang thing started going off. Now, there's no volume control on that thing, and it's very loud. And I will tell you that even when I got it like hooked up for this place, they did the test, and let me just say it's so loud that I get very nervous, and I'm fumbling with the phone to try to get it disarmed, and I was trying to do that, and let's just say after finally getting it turned off, I'll tell you what, it was a good about maybe about 10 minutes and I was like this because it just made me feel very, very anxious. So I really need to do a better job and make sure that when I go to disarm that thing, when I'm in the car, make sure it says disarm before I go and put the key in. Enika, welcome. And make sure that thing is disarmed before I come in the door, because again, it's loud and I know it's meant to be loud, but yes, it just makes me like this when it goes off. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm so glad that it made it. Yes, thank you for letting me know. Um, so yeah, that was kind of like a little bit of excitement this morning that I didn't really, really need. So yeah, with that, that's pretty much all that's been going on. Next week, actually, I had decided that I'm going to take PTO all of next week. So yeah, no getting up, no driving to South Haven, no, I think I'm going to spend that week getting caught up and getting a head start on getting all the projects kind of like done for my Thursday video content and all that. And then also look for another job because yeah, I need to find something else. That's why I decided to take a whole week, because with this job, if you got PTO, they don't pay it out to you when you term. Um, yeah, you end up losing it. And I had, like, as of like today, I had like 77 hours worth. And it's like, I don't want to end up losing any of it. And I think it kind of stinks they don't pay it out. Now, some groups within our company, they do. And then some they don't, which I don't think is very fair because it's time we earned. But yeah, I'm going to try and take the time when I can. Now, this week was a busy week with work. I mean, I've told you that I've kind of gotten the leave of absence stuff, which is a nightmare, kind of like thrown on me. So every other week is a week where I have to spend a lot of time. Like there's 2 back-to-back days that there's files that have to be done. This is what goes to payroll so they know how to pay these people. And so ultimately the whole idea is to get it to them as early as you can, like on Friday, so they have the time to work it, because they have to process pay come Monday and Tuesday. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised. It was, the second time I've done it, and it went a little bit smoother. I didn't feel as stressed, and I did not work to some crazy weird hour trying to get it done. So, even though I had to go out in the morning yesterday to pick my friend up from the airport and all that. I mean, surprisingly enough, it was like 20 to 6 here when I got done with it. So it's not too bad. And then everything was good for me to send it out this morning. So it's been a little bit easier, but still there's so much more that's all wrapped around that whole thing. And honestly, I don't want to be bothered with it. So so yeah, hello Don. So yeah, that's kind of like what's been happening. So I'm kind of looking forward to next week that I don't have to get up, extremely early to then have to drive and, and sit in a dingy like office and all that. So yeah, that's what's going on. So okay, so let me have some water because I can feel my mouth getting kind of dry. And let me take this thing and flip it and we'll get started. Okay. And as I flip this, you probably saw my the calyx unit, like the top of it. Yes, when hold on, I'm just trying to make sure this thing is in here straight and it's not all crooked. Um yeah, when let's see, between Aldi's and Five Below, I got actual metal lunch pails sitting on top of my calyx unit of Stitch. So yeah, I'll find something to put in them. But yeah, so let me go and do this. And of course, I got a little bit of like housekeeping stuff to tell you about. So while I'm doing this, the one thing that's currently going on for this month of October is Stampin' Up's joining special. So they got for this round of doing this, they have two offers that are going on now. This is um, all for the U.S. So I'll put, if I know all you guys know this because you know, but for anybody that pops on and is watching or watches the replay, if Stampin' Up product is something that I mean, you like the products and you find yourself, ordering stuff. Let me see, do have to pull this out now? And you find yourself placing orders, maybe on a monthly basis or so, depending on how much you buy. Um, this is an option to where you can get like all of your crafting supplies at a discount. So when you join Stampin' Up and you get the starter kit, you don't have to build it as a business and do, what I'm doing and what some other demonstrators are doing, where, they're doing video content and they may be doing in person, what do you call it, classes and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. You can just simply be a happy or a discount shopper. You just get all of your products at a discount. So the two options that they got going on right now, you can join for $35 and you can choose $125 in product, or you can pay $99. That's what the regular price usually is throughout the year, for $99, and then you get to choose $189 in product. Now, I will tell you that since I've been a demonstrator since October of 2013, that I mean, this is not the lowest price that they've had. The starter kit, when I joined, they were celebrating their 25th anniversary, so I actually joined for $25. However, I believe when I also joined, the amount of product I got to choose was only like $25. So it was a way that I got my foot in, and then once you do the starter kit, you do get an email and you get a demonstrator ID number. And then from there, you can then start placing orders and you can receive a 20% discount. Now, when you do like when you sell or buy, like say 1800 in, a calendar year, what happens, that discount goes from 20% to 25%. Now, there is a quarterly minimum that you would need to meet, and that's $300. However, for this whole month of October, when you join, you don't need to meet that quarterly minimum until the end of March of next year. And even it can go into April, because what happens at the end of March, say you haven't met that quarterly minimum, what happens that following month, you go into a pending status to where you can, you can do the difference and then you remain active. Now, if you don't meet it, that doesn't, I mean, there's no strings attached to this. What happens, you just go back to being a customer. You wouldn't receive the discount. I mean, all the products that you have already, have purchased, it's yours. So you don't have to, send anything back to them. But there's a lot of nice perks. So when they do have sales on things, let's see, what is Inika, so what is she saying? We pay more and are allowed. The exchange rate gets me more. Okay. Yeah, it's always interesting because when you look at the exchange rates, with different countries, like Canada, it sounds like it's so much more, but it kind of equals out to, kind of like what we're paying here in the US. Um, but you get like all these perks when you're a demonstrator. So whenever we have a new catalog or there's new product that comes out in the online exclusives, we all get to see it before it goes live to customers. And even that month before it goes live, we get to pre-order that stuff, so we kind of get it in our hands earlier. There's also demonstrator only events that happen, so there's a couple of nice little perks that go with, being a demo. And again, you don't have to build it as a business, but if you like the product and you're finding yourself, ordering it, why not get it at a discount? Again, there's no strings attached. If you don't meet the quarterly minimum, you just drop as a demonstrator and then you become, a customer. You just don't have that discount anymore. Now, again, on top of things, like I said, when they have sales, like for example, you get things that go on the last chance list, you not only have that discount, but then you also have your demonstrator discount on top of that. And then also you're still earning stamp and rewards as well to go towards, your next order. So there's a lot of nice perks. And again, I mean, if I wasn't a demonstrator, I can only imagine how much I would have actually paid for all of this product that I have gotten over the years. So it's just something to think about. If there's any questions that you have at all, I mean, feel free to reach out. In the description, I do have my email address down there. So, yeah, just reach out and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Now, of course, to be a part of my Blue City Stampers team, you do need to be in the US, not necessarily here in Memphis, but anywhere within the US. And yeah, so if you're in another country, then you would need to reach out to a demonstrator, which if you want to know, I mean, there are some demonstrators that I do know that are in other countries that I could also refer you to. Also, as far as I know, that the 12 days of crafting advent calendar here in the US, it is still available. I'm taking a quick peek here. Um, where is it? No, that's the calendar. There it is. Yeah, so here in North America, it's not showing on low inventory, so it's still available. I think it was it last Friday? I think I did show what do you call it? The actual advent calendar. You know, I kind of opened it up, but I didn't open up the little doors in this. Now, I did watch another demonstrator. Um, you know, there were a few demonstrators actually that did open these up, you know, to give a sneak peek. So, yes, I did watch it. So, yeah, I do know what's in it. I can tell you that there's a lot of cool stuff that is in here. None of the, I mean, the packaging looks like Christmas, but the items in it is not. And then all the products that they do have in here are exclusive to this advent calendar. It's not going to be, none of these products are going to be something that you're going to find in, you know, the online exclusives or in any of the, what do you call it, the paper publications, any of the catalogs. You're not going to find any of this stuff in there. So, and nothing, and like I said, the packaging looks Christmas, but the stuff that's in it, the product is not. And then in addition to what you have, the 12 days that you have in here, another bonus is that you have this double sheet of photopolymer stamps. So you have an actual like stamp case, not the new packaging, but the this was it the the DVD cases. You'll have like two things of photopolymer stamps. So basically now we got new stuff that is for November's online exclusive that we're able to pre-order. So now starting with that November product and then going forward, there's going to be no more of the red rubber stamps. Everything's going to be photopolymer. And then also the packaging is going to change. It's not going to be, the stamps won't come in these DVD cases, even though they're going to still carry the cases. They'll come in the packaging like what you see for dies, except they're all going to be the same size. So they are a little bit longer than this, but you're not going to have that spine of the stamp set to, you know, kind of like take to see kind of like what's in it. So I mean that's kind of stinks. And I mean there are demonstrators that, you know, they're converting a lot of what they do have right now uh that's in the cases and putting it in new packaging. I am not doing that because I have a lot. Now I know it would save a lot of space, but yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna take the time to do that. Now the one thing that I will say that that will save some time. So if you notice like on my set of dies, one of the things that I do, so the print here is always kind of small, and you know, if there is, um, you know, when I'm like searching through my dies, I decide to use my P-Touch labeler to put the name on there so it's easier to see. And then I was also either taking like an extra catalog or something, and I was taking the image, cutting it out to put it in here, or since you know they kind of changed the formatting of the way things were pictured in the catalogs, I was also you know, printing out the images so that way I can see what exactly the stamps were, I mean the dies that were in the packaging. Now the new packaging, like I said, it's going to be like this, but they have the print work of these dies that you're going to see, you know, on their printout here. So the only thing I would have to do is just add this. But again, it's like I got to figure out with stamp sets, again, when it goes on a shelf, I can see the spine of it and know what it is. Now I got to kind of find a spot, get one of those refrigerator bins and now put the new stamps. So going forward, new publications like our January to April catalog, there's not going to be any red rubber, and the packaging is not going to be in these DVD cases. So, um, yeah, so these will come in a DVD case. So, here in the US, it does cost $99. Um, this would be something as a demo. We do get a discount, so whether it's 20% or 25% off. I'm kind of surprised that this isn't on low inventory here already, or it hasn't sold out. So these are still available. So again, this would make a great Christmas gift. For if you buy one for yourself, you can buy one for a friend. It's kind of like what I did. But so these are still available. And again, this was the kit, was this handmade and heartfelt. This was the kit that Stampin' Up! Used for their, what is it, the World Card Making Day event. And it's also the same one that I did that night as well. Now, the one thing that I found interesting is that I did watch Stampin' Up's, and I was, a lot of us here that are on here now, you guys were here that night when I put this whole thing together. And yeah, yeah, that's true, Froggy. I mean, I was kind of surprised because, Yvonne was telling me, what do you call it? She was telling me about one, I think, what was it, Spellbinders? And I kid you not, only a couple of days later, next thing you know, Stampin' Up! Advertised that they were going to have one. So I thought that was kind of funny. So, um, but this kit, okay, the one thing I found interesting was that they didn't put the entire thing together. I mean, Sarah in the beginning, she put together like 3 cards, but the box wasn't put together. The other 2 cards weren't done. They had what they were showing other stuff too. So I was kind of surprised. But yeah, I was kind of thrown back that they didn't do the whole entire thing, but I did, and I did do that last Saturday. So if you have this kit, and I mean the instructions are pretty, explanatory, but it did take me a little bit just to kind of figure out what exactly I was doing with this box. So if you have this and you're looking to put it together, again, I did do a live last Saturday where I put this whole entire thing together. Uh, Another thing Stampin' Up! Has going on, this will happen on October 23rd at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Stampin' Up! Is offering craft classes. So for this one, when you place an order, this is how you purchase the class itself. It does have an item number of 170073. The cost of these classes are $30 here in the US, 41 in Canada, and it's just for the class, the video content that you can also view it later, down the road. If you're not available to do this on this particular day and time, you can go back and you can rewatch it. Now, the suite that they're using for this class is Traditions of Christmas. And my understanding is that I think there's a couple of things that are actually on back order on this. And I know one of the things are those glittered, what is it, Traditions of Christmas? That those glittered sequins, is that what they're called? That those are on back order. No, no, wait, no, actually, no, they're not. They were, but they're back in stock. Um, do they have everything? No, the paper, the designer series paper on this is what's currently unavailable. So I don't know if whether or not that's going to be available beforehand, but Again, if this sounds like something that you're interested in, if you don't have all the products, you can use what you have. Or again, this is something you can reference back to at a later time. So this is still out there. Um, Actually, today for Paper Pumpkin, uh, for the kit for October is Cozy Christmas. This one has flock details that look like stitching on it. It has a special box. Today is the last day to subscribe or change your subscription. So, for example, if this sounds like something you would like to get, you would have to subscribe before midnight Mountain Time in order to get this kit. Um, if you like Christmas stuff, then it's like, okay, you want an extra one, you can change your quantity, you can skip. Um, Everything just has to be done by the 10th of that month for that particular kit. So, yeah, so before midnight on Mountain Time, that's the last chance to get this particular kit. And then of course there's more kits that I did all this sneak peek. I'm not going to go through those because I did that on my paper pumpkin video, and I think that may be all I have as far as announcements go. Another thing really quick that I will mention too, um, every Friday Night Live that I do create a PDF that does have the link embedded in the date here that will take you back to the video if these are projects that you would like to create. Um, I think I counted what, like 88 of them out there. I've been doing these since January 26th of 2024. So there's quite a few of these out there. There's a list of supplies, there's pictures of the projects, and then I have the list of like the cardstock and the dimensions, and if I stamp some, I'm letting you know what color ink to use. So this is available for free. If you look in the description, just over that last little paragraph right above the list of supplies, there is a link that'll take you to my Google Drive, and that's where you will find these. So let me put this aside and let me get my mouse pad out of the way, and we're going to get started. So these cards are going to go together pretty quick. We got a Renee here. Hello, Renee. See her Renee is spelled the same way as my middle name. My middle name's spelled the same way. Okay. Um, oh yeah, Sharon. Oh yeah, so did anyone here take advantage of the kit sale that happened earlier this week? I actually did, because I'll tell you what, I think it's called Calm and Bright. That's the kit that you're talking about, Sharon, the one where it's like it's all white and then you got some like pastel color to it. I did order like two of those kits, and then the nutcrackers, because I love the nutcrackers. I did order like three of those, and I'll tell you what, I'm kind of surprised the nutcracker one didn't sell out. I did get myself to another, what is it? That harvest. What is the name of that thing? Um, that kit. Do I have it down here? I don't know if this is it or not. Yes, this kit here. What is this? Harvest Home Garland Kit. I haven't even put this one together yet, but I did get another one. Maybe this weekend I'll put this together. You need a hot glue gun to put it together, and it's not something that goes together really, really quick. So I need to put a little something in my bedroom that's fall, to kind of decorate in there as well. So I did get another one of those. So Yeah, so I got more kits that are coming, and I got a lot of kits here that I still have to put together. But I have this weekend, I have what do you call it? You know, a whole week that I can do stuff, and this weekend is kind of low key, so I have no plans of going anywhere other than church on Sunday. So yeah, so it's all I got plenty of stuff that I can end up doing. Uh, I can never say that I'm bored because you can ask Yvonne. Yvonne will vouch for it that she sees what I have. I have a lot, and I need to start really doing stuff with it. So, okay. So now let me kind of tell you what I got here for my first card. So the card base, this is Strawberry Slush, measures 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4.25. I have a 5.25 by 4-inch piece of basic white for the inside of my card. For the front, I have, this is the On the Go Designer Series paper. This piece measures a 5.25 by 4. I have a piece of basic black. This measures 3.75 by 2.5. And then another piece of that On the Go Designer Series paper that measures 3 5/8 by 2 3/8. And then ahead of time, because this stamp set is cling, if it was photopolymer, I would have stamped it after the fact. But so on basic white, I had stamped my greeting in Azure Afternoon. You can see it's got this little perforated piece here, so you can actually tear this off if you wanted to. So I stamped it in the Azure Afternoon ink. I die cut it with the die that's in the set of dies. And then I spritzed it with a black Stampin' Right marker um, after I die cut it. And then out of the Designer Series paper, because again, there's no dies to die cut these things out, I did fussy cut this orange backpack. And then there's a die that does, and why do I only see two here? There should be three. There should be three. Where's the third one? Okay, I think I've lost my third little heart here. So out of, this is crushed curry. There it is. It's still in the bag. There is a die in here that will die cut three little hearts. So these three are done out of crushed curry. Okay. So let's slide this all out of the way, and we'll fold and burnish. And I think actually I need to turn on the fan. I didn't need the fan all day long, but standing here, and the crazy thing is the lights that I have, they're not giving off any heat. So I don't know why this always happens, but it does. All right, so there is that. Now I don't have anything stamped inside of these cards. As far as the greetings go, now let me show you what's included in this suite. So the tags to go cling stamp set. So you do have some of these greetings and some of these images. You even have something like if you were doing any kind of journaling where you can add a date on it. And then the dies. You do have these stitched labels. You got some keys in here. I think that's what kind of drew me to this is the keys. I thought the keys were really neat in this set of dies. And then these are the on-the-go puffy stickers. So you get 2 sheets of the same colored images. So I am using that on all of the cards. Then there is the Pack Your Bags twine 3-pack. So you got a 3-pack. I think there's like 5 yards on each of these rolls. You got Azure Afternoon, Strawberry Slush, and then Shy Shamrock. And then, let's see, is there anything else? Oh, yeah, there's this. So I'm not using this tonight only because, with my winners for tonight's cards, it'd be a little hard for me to send these out without costing like, a fortune. But there are also these suitcase treat boxes. You get 12 in a package. So this is kind of like what they look like. So they're about that, about that size. And then there is designer series paper. This one, what is it? On the Go. Azure Afternoon, Basic Black, Crushed Curry, Pumpkin Pie, Shy Shamrock, and Strawberry Slush are the colors in this. So you have your print designs on one side, and then on the other, there's more like a backdrop, like these prints right here. So again, everything in this suite is now on the last chance list, and every bit of it is discounted. So again, if this looks like something that I was kind of late to the party on getting a suite, and I basically got it when they had that suite sale where you bought one and got one at 50% off. So yeah, now I'm using it and now it's going away. So but yeah, just wanted to put that out there. So I'm going to take this piece of white and I'm going to put this on the inside of my card, like so. Just looking at the comments. See, Enika had surgery earlier this week. Praying that you're healing well and you're not in a lot of pain. Um, yeah, just kind of like looking. Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to take my designer series paper and I'll put this on my card front. Yeah, since there's a lot of stuff that I did ahead of time, these cards are going to go together pretty quick. So one of them that I'm doing, the last one, is a fun fold card. Don't ask me what the name of it is because where I found, the layout for it, they didn't have a name for it. So I have no clue what you would call it. All right, so I have taken this designer series paper, put it on my layer of black cardstock. I want to bring in my tape, and then I'm going to bring in this twine, and I want the Azure Afternoon one. So I try to use everything when I'm doing a whole suite. I like to try and use everything. Again, the box, I would have liked to have done something with the box. However, I can't exactly mail the box out because that would just cost too much with it being assembled. And even if it wasn't assembled, it would have to go in a bigger envelope and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take this Azure Afternoon twine and I'm going to wrap this around 3 times. So no bows on this, just going to wrap it around and then get another piece of tape. Stick that down. And then I'll go over this again to hold these other strands. Now this piece is going to be popped up, so it's not going to end up bulging. when I put it down. So let me take that off. The scissors aren't going to work unless you take the covering off. So we got that. Okay, put that over there. And then I'm going to take this and get my dimensionals and pop this up. Okay. Okay. So I think I got everything off of here. And then I'll take this and, well, first off, let me make sure I'm putting it on the right way. So I'm just going to center this like so. And then I'm going to take my backpack here. I'm going to pop that up as well. So I'm going to add one at the top and then two on the bottom here. I'm leaving the middle open because this is going to go over that that baker's twine. So I'll place that right over here. Now this piece, spritzing it, my plan was I was only going to stamp it and die cut it, and then I was going to spritz it on the video. However, I wasn't thinking, and I just put them both down and I spritzed them at the same time. So yeah, so I would have done that, but yeah, my brain just wasn't operating at full capacity at the, because it was nighttime when I ended up doing this. So yeah, so what am I looking for? I'm looking for my glue, my liquid glue here. So I'm going to take these little hearts and I'm going to place these on that tear off part of this tag. So I'm going to add 3, actually let me bring this in so then that way you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to add, let's see, we'll put one in the middle, just a little drop, and then I'll put one on either side of that. And I'm not worried about these being all lined up perfectly. So let me take your pick tool and we'll place that one right there. And do one right there and this one over here. And what's cool, you can do a shaker card and you can use these little hearts as your little shaker elements. Okay, so there is our tag. Move that. And then I'm going to pop this up as well. So a lot of dimensionals on this. So I'm going to put 2 down here. Now, if you want this to be something you want someone to tear off, then I wouldn't put any dimensionals down on this bottom part. Okay, then we'll take that off. And we'll place this right over here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in another color of this baker's twine. I'm going to bring in the Shy Shamrock, tie a bow, okay, this a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to bring in my glue dots. Okay. All right. Yeah, Inika, you yeah, I don't know if you're already off of here, but yes. Right, yeah, it is late where you're at, and yeah. So rest easy and heal quickly, and just praying that pain is very, very minimal. Um, but thank you for popping on. It's always nice. There's always the replay that you can come back to at any point. Okay, so now I'll take my scissors and I will trim the tails. And then I'm going to use one of those puffy stickers on here. So again, you get 2 sheets that are identical on these. And these are nice because as far as, like, you know, embellishments that you put on your cards, that actually I don't even need to take a pick tool. What did I use? I used this black arrow right here. So because these are you know, kind of squishy, that you don't need to put any you don't need like a postcard or a piece of cardstock or whatever to lay over the top of your card when you put it in your envelope. So there's the first card. So this one, you know, very, very simple, letting, you know, basically letting the designer series paper do all the work on it. So very simple card. So that's that one. Let me now get everything I need for the second card. Now this is the one that has the punch that I'm using that is retired. So this one, again, I saw this, I thought it was really, really cute. And I did modify it, you know, a little bit to what the original one was. So using Summer Splash, which is basically just a darker version of Coastal Cabana. So of course anything aqua, anything purple, blues, love all of it. Okay, so for my card base, it's Summer Splash, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of basic white for the inside, 5.25 by 4. This designer, so the On the Go Designer Series paper, I cut a piece that's 5.25 by 4, and then I cut a 1.25 inch piece off of the bottom of it. So this bottom part is going to get flipped over this way. So I'm going to be showing both sides of this designer series paper. I have a scrap, well, not another, but I have a scrap of Summer Splash. I am going to punch this out using the Humble Home Builder Punch. I think this came out with the holiday catalog last year, and it carried over for a while, and it retired not all that long ago. Now, unfortunately, this, I did look, it's not in the online store anymore. So yeah, so this is retired. So I mean, if you have, whether it's a punch or a die that's a house shape, that'll work for this card as well. Scrap piece of basic white. I die cut it out of using the largest die from the Nested Essentials set of dies. And then out of gold foil, I die cut one of those keys. And then out of those hearts, these are so tiny. I die cut one pumpkin pie little heart. Okay, so set that aside. Now I did not stamp that greeting, so when I go to stamp it, gotta pray that it just stamps straight and not all crooked. Okay. All right, so then let's get the inside of our card. So this card would be perfect if somebody is moving into a new home, or wait, we don't want this on the outside, we want this on the inside. You know, or maybe somebody's been away for a while and they're finally coming home. This card will work as well. So I'll put that in there. Okay, and then the designer series paper, like I said, I'm going to have this, the bigger piece with the key print, and then I'm going to flip the piece that we cut off, and I'm going to put that there. Now what I want to do is, I always do it this way. I find that it's easier for me. Instead of gluing down one piece and then putting the other piece down, I like to take the two and I like to tape them together so then it's one whole piece. So I'm going to line this up, and then if the tape doesn't stick to my fingers, and just tape that together. Kind of did this with one of those cards I did, what was it, the Autumn Toile suite a couple of Fridays ago, where I cut off part of that panel and then just flipped it. So that's what our piece looks like. And then I'm going to take this, adhere this whole thing down to my card base. Like so. Okay, then what I want to do, and I should have done this earlier, so I'm going to take my seal. Oh no, actually I didn't use my seal on this. I used tear and tape. And what I like to use, I have one of these blocks. These come in your, when you're a first time subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, or if you get the all-inclusive kits in the kits collection, you have a block in there, and these blocks have more of a sharper edge to it as opposed to the ergonomic ones that we sell in the catalog. So I'm going to take my tear and tape, and I'm going to go right over that seam where the two designer series paper kind of join. Okay, so I'll kind of press that down. And then where's my take your pick tool? I know I had the other one laying somewhere here. It's probably right in front of me and I'm not seeing it. No, I put it back. What's wrong with me? I put something back. Okay, take off that paper liner, and then I'm going to bring in the Strawberry Slush faux linen ribbon, and I'm going to take a piece of this and I'm going to go right across where the two meet. Let's make sure I'm doing this straight. Okay, press that down, and then kind of line my scissors up with that designer series paper and trim. Okay, I really do like that ribbon. This is actually, when it came to this card, I had just opened up that, so I hadn't even used that color yet. So this is the first time using it. So that kind of covers up that, that seam. And it's just a little bit. Okay, and then we'll set this aside and let's punch out our house. Okay. And put that there. Now this will also do like a window, a little doorknob, and a heart as well. Now for this, I mean, if you have this punch, you can punch your heart out at a pumpkin pie and use that heart instead of that one if you want, because it's a little bit bigger. But I decided to go with the little pumpkin pie heart. I think that the orange and the aqua go very well together. Okay, so then I'm going to take my glue dots and I'm going to adhere this key down. And I'll put one right there, but it is a little bit bigger, so I am going to wrap this around just a little bit. Okay, and then not stick it to my grid paper. And then I'm going to take my key and I'm going to put it at an angle on my house, and then a little drop of glue for my little pumpkin pie heart. And putty end of my take your pick tool, and we'll stick that right down in that glue. Okay, and then I'm going to pull out my strawberry slush baker's twine and create a bow with this. Hey Becky, that's okay, there's always a replay. We're on the second card right now. All right, and then glue dot. And stick that right in the middle there. Kind of wrap. This glue dot's a bit bigger than my bow, or my knot actually. So I want to wrap that under if I can. And then stick that right over that hole to the key. And then I'll trim these down some. Okay, and then let's move this out of the way because we're done with this. And this will be popped up. So I'll take some dimensionals. One more. Okay, we'll set that aside. And then we're going to stamp on this piece here. So I'm going to bring this in so I can see where I'm putting that. The greeting that I want is welcome home. Welcome home. Now with this, I'm not going to put the labels on it because I don't know if you can see this, but got some of that, what do you call it, stuff from my Stampin' Scrub. But when they die cut this, they didn't have it lined up right. So the greeting's not even centered. So if I were to put the label on it, it wouldn't be matched up with that. So I am going to, let's see, do I want to use this block? Maybe this bigger block. So I will take my stamp, and I'm going to kind of line this up. Just kind of look at the bottom of the word and the bottom edge, and I'll do it that way. And so when I go to stamp this, I don't want to look at the bottom of the stamp. I actually want to look at the bottom of the block, and I'm going to see that there is a lot more extra rubber on the bottom than there is on the top. So I'm going to stamp it a little bit lower. And then I'm going to do that in Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And we'll ink this up. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of come right down here in the middle. And let's pray that it's straight. And it is. Yay. I am always happy when things work out, especially when you're doing a video. Because you know when that camera's rolling, that's when, you know, things will go wrong. You know, you'll forget words. You'll put your stuff on your card front upside down, you know, things like that happen. Okay, so we're going to let this dry a little bit. A lot of people are getting sick. And it's, you know, and it's interesting. There are 3 people that I know that recently it's like they all have gotten like really, really bad urinary tract infections. I mean, I've had them before, but I mean, for them to be really, really bad to the point where you're in a hospital for it, that's kind of like weird. I wonder what, you know, something's up with that, because usually you don't have it be like severe like that. Oh my gosh! It's Donna! Hello, Donna! Hello, hello. This is my friend Donna, who came to visit a few years ago when Stampin' Up was doing their backstage event in New Orleans, and she came up here because she figured if she was that close to Graceland, she was going. Oh, welcome, Donna. I hope you've been doing well. So glad to see you. Okay, so yeah, I know I'm a little excessive with the what do you call it, whatchamacallit, the dimensionals, but we don't want anything sagging on our card. Okay, so since we've had some people come on, let me just make mention that I have pinned up at the top of the chat box. There is a link to that'll take you to a Google spreadsheet. What I do at the very end, I do a card giveaway of the cards that I make tonight. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, cards are not an issue to mail out. And all I do is slap a stamp on. It's when you have to go and send a package, like a large envelope, right, Donna? That it's not cheap. So if you would like to be in the for a chance to win one of the cards, again, it's pinned up at the top of the chat box. There is a link that'll take you to a Google spreadsheet. Just add your name, and if you can't, just say something in the chat box and someone will add you. And then at the end, I will do my wheel of names, and yeah, I give away the cards that I make. It's one way for me to not have an excessive amount of cards, because I already have a ton of cards that I've, when you just do your playing and all that. And yeah, so I have to figure out what I'm doing with all these cards. So I figured, let me give away the cards when I do. Am I doing this straight? Is that straight? Hold on, let me bring this down. There we go. And then this one, this puffy sticker that I'm going to use is, where did I put the puff? Wow, I keep losing things. My puffy stickers, there they are. So on this one, what am I going to use? This little orange arrow, and we're going to place that right there. Okay, there's the next card. Okay, looks like Becky needs her name added. Wait, it's what? Hold on. Froggy just told me. Hold on, let me see. Oh, hold on. What on earth? What did I do? I pinned the wrong one. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. So let me see. Can I get back up? Is it going to still be here? Hold on. I am so sorry. Yeah, I pinned the wrong one. There we go. It's pinned now. I am so sorry. Thanks for saying something, Froggy, because I would have been saying something. I was like, why didn't anybody add their name? Okay, so now I have the right post pinned up at the top now. So now you can add your name to it. So sorry, guys. So sorry. All right. All right, so now card number 3. So this is going to be our fun fold. And again, I do not know what the name of this fun fold is. So if somebody does, I would appreciate, just let me know what it is. I don't know if I want to just take a guess. I don't even want to guess, because I'd probably so far off. So again, we're really showcasing a lot of the designer series paper. I have learned that over the years, I have been doing nothing but hoarding all of this designer series paper. And since doing these videos, I've been getting much better on actually using it, because I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of July of next year, if I'm going to be moving or not, but I know at some point, somewhere down the road, I will be moving. And I've moved all this stuff. And when you got more crafting stuff than anything else, yeah, that's a lot to move. So yeah, I am definitely getting better on using it. So I just got to find projects like doing gift bags and things like that, to where I end up using more of it. Okay, so for my card base, I had, okay, this was, hold on. I think I, wait, hold on a second. Did I? No. Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta fix the PDF on this, because I got the wrong. Okay, so the card base, it's a regular card base size, 8.5 by 5.5, and then scored at 4.25. In the PDF, I have it as 11 by 4.25, and then scored at 5.5. I gotta fix that. I think the original instructions that I looked at for this had that, and that's what I put down, but then something wasn't right with it when I went to put it together. So yeah, I do have to fix that in the PDF. Um, and like I said, the PDF, there's a link. So every live that I've done a PDF that has a picture of the cards, has a link back to the video, and that link is in the description just above the list of supplies. So I have to fix that when I'm done with my live. I'll fix that tonight. Okay, so again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and so this would be considered the card front. So I then cut off 2 inches off of this side. So this side would be 4 1/4, and then this would be 2 1/4 on this side of the score line. Then I have a piece of crushed curry. This is 5.5 by 4, and I scored it at 2 3/4. A piece of that the Go Designer Series paper. This is 5 1/4 by 4. I have another piece of that paper. It's 5 1/4 by 2. I have a piece of basic white and pumpkin pie. Both of these measure 3 3/4 by 2.5. On the pumpkin pie one, I had used uh, the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. This is part of the, oh, what is the name of it? Something sip something. Someone help me here. Yeah, these are the embossing folders that go with that suite. So I use this patterned one right here to emboss my pumpkin pie. Okay, and then, like I said, ahead of time, I did this out of there's a piece of there's 2 sheets of the Designer Series paper where it has like all of these suitcases that you can fussy cut. So I've done one of each of these, so the green, red, and blue one, and then there's also this little passport piece too that I have fussy cut as well. All right, so for this, let me fold my score line here and get my bone folder. Okay, and then this Designer Series paper here, I'm going to add to the inside of my card. Okay, that in there straight. Okay, and then this pattern right here, I'm going to add this to that top flap. Cheers and sips, that's it. That's it. And then this I'm going to kind of line up on my front flap so it's even with that piece I have on the inside. Then I'm going to fold and burnish this crushed curry little mini card. And bone folder. Okay, so then this card is going to go in this way. So it's, you got kind of like your flap card. So on this crushed curry piece, it's going to go in this direction. I'm going to take my basic white and I'm going to put this on the inside. So this is the side that's going to get adhered down to the card base. So in here you can stamp your little greeting, or you can write your little greeting in there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my embossed piece of my pumpkin pie. Now I'm going to use my liquid glue to put this down. What's that? I'm just looking. Yeah, that's true, Renee. A lot of people call things differently. Cheers and sip, stamps, ink, and paper. Um, huh. Just looking at the little conversation that was going on. Okay, so I'm going to add glue. Instead of using my, what do you call it, my seal, because this has been embossed and it's textured, I don't want it to tear on me. And so this is going to flip it over. A little glue goober on the top. Got to take that off. And then I'm going to center this. Not cockeyed. No, 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 no. On there straight. So I got a little bit of glue that came out, but I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to use my little glue eraser thing to remove that. Or I can do this. There's that little glue eraser. Good as new. Good as new. Okay. Now I'm going to add adhesive to the back of this. So I'm going to use a little bit more so that way it stays put. Okay. And so you want your basic white down. This is going to be up. And let's see how I'm going to do this. So then I'm going to take this. So this flap is going to go inside of that card. And then I'm going to press that down. Okay, so this will go over and this goes over that. Now I want to add a little bit of that twine. So I'm going to bring in the Azure Afternoon. And then I also want to bring in my extra hand. So my reverse locking tweezers, that's from the Embossings Editions kit. All right, so I want to actually take this and it needs to kind of go up here. Up here. Okay, so I'm going to tie a knot. I'm not going to tie a bow because, yeah, it could end up getting comical. So I'm going to just lock that over, and then that helps me in tying my knot. Come on. Work with me, work with me. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of pull that and pull that out like so. All right. And then I'll trim that. So adding a little bit of twine to all of the cards. Okay, and then I'm going to take all, let's see, so my green suitcase here, I'm going to add some adhesive to this. And this is going to go right over here. Make sure I'm straight. Okay, so we'll put that down. Our red suitcase, going to adhere that straight down. And that will go right over here. Make sure I'm straight. And then I'm going to add some to the back of my little passport here. And that's going to get tucked right back behind my red suitcase. And then my blue one here, we're going to pop this one up. Modified version of a joyful fun fold card. Well, that sounds like a cool name, so we'll call it that. A joyful fun fold card. Okay, and then this suitcase is going to go right over here like so. And then for the puffy sticker that I'm going to use on this, you got like these little like paper airplane looking ones, and I'm going to use the crushed curry one, and we'll just kind of have that right up there. So there is the third card. Yeah, it's like a flat type of card. But yeah, there we go. So there's the third card. So let me bring in, and we didn't do too bad, not too bad. Let me kind of get this stuff out of the way because I kind of this mess going on. All right, so the cards that we've done tonight. So this is our last card, so our fun fold card. You really using the paper to really showcase all that paper that's in this. And then we have our welcome home card. Again, the this humble home builder punch is retired and gone, but I didn't really have anything else that I can use for the house. So got a little gold foil there for my key. So there is, and of course that's Summer Splash. Love the Summer Splash. I'm gonna be sad when that retires at the end of this annual catalog. Okay, and then here is our first card with the strawberry slush. And again, just a very simple layered card showcasing that designer series paper. Okay, so I am going to tidy up here since I got this big mess. This is your opportunity where you can add your name to the spreadsheet if you would like to be in the card drawing. And again, cards can go anywhere in the US. I do have international stamps, and I take it, Froggy, that Canada is still in their strike, aren't they? Terry can't make up her mind which one she wants. Yep, still have it. On rotating strikes. What the heck is wrong with them? Oh, the Postal Service. I really wish we didn't have to rely on them. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, they need to get their acts together. I got to remember that I'm doing a live, and I just don't, say the things that I would normally say when I'm not on a live. It would be a little inappropriate, I could get dinged from YouTube. Yeah. So I gotta make sure, I gotta remember I'm doing a live. So so those other two cards, Froggy, do you want me to send them, or do you want me to still hold on to them? Because the two cards you won, all I have to do is just put a stamp on them. They're all in their envelopes. right. And again, the PDFs for all of my Friday projects are out there. Just give me a moment after I'm done with tonight's live to fix that PDF with the measurements of that last card that I just did. Let me move this over here. And I got my pen and I got my little sticky notes. And let's see. Okay, it might take until the U.S. Thanksgiving to get. Oh, so like at near the end of November? Hopefully it'll be sooner than that. Okay, so let me see. I have Froggy, Terry, Sharon, Tracy, and Becky. Is there anybody else who would like to be added? Donna, would you like to be added? And I guess Yvonne is still away, right? Finishing dinner or having dinner. Okie dokie. Okay. Is there any? There she is. Would you like your name? Oh, okay. You don't want your name added. Um, is there anybody else? Renee, is she still here? Would you like your name added? And plus, not only that, I have all the sample cards too that if you like them, you case them. And Carol, I don't know if you want to or not, if you want your name added. Okay. Okie dokie. So I think I got everybody. So I have Froggy, Terry, Sharon, Tracy, Becky, and Donna. So here's what I'm going to do. So since there are 6 of you on here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just in this generous spirit. So here are the sample cards. So everybody that I have on here, all 6 of you, is going to get a card. So if when I draw your name, just say if you want card 1, 2, or 3. So let me move them out of the way. Let me get my laptop. I have to do it this way because, I'm not fancy like that, with the software where you can flip, from one camera to another. So I'm going to take all these names. I'm going to add it to my wheel of names. And Terry wants 3. Okay. So let me I unplugged it. Let me move these lights out of the way because these lights glare right on the screen. And let me kind of bring this in like so. Like so. Okay, and then let me just check the chat really quick. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and spin this thing. So Froggy, Terry, Sharon, Tracy, Becky, and Donna are on here. And let's see who's going to choose the first card. Donna! You're our first winner. You're at the same address, right, Donna? Because I do have, I do have yours. You got it. You got it. Okay. Yep, same address. Okay, cool beans. Okay, so our next one. Tracy. Which one would you like? Card 1, 2, or 3? Wait a minute. No. Number 2. Yeah, Becky didn't win the first card. That was Donna. Okay. Oh no, it was Becky. Oh, you know what? Never mind. My brain, I swear, my brain is not functioning. I'm like, I see Terry's name, and then I think she's congratulating Becky, and it's Becky saying congratulations. Yeah, evidently I didn't take a long enough nap, did I? I'm not just like, okay, I don't know. I don't know. Sharon. It's funny, I got these sticky notes over here, and it's like I'm just pulling from the top. There's Terry. Sharon, which card would you like? Would you like 1, 2, or 3? You still with us, Sharon? Number 3. Okay. Put that aside. All right. Terry. There's Terry's little taggy here. Number 1. Okay. All right. Let's not close that one. Becky. So we got 1 and 2. Let me find your little sticky note with your name on it. Number 1, okay. Bear with me, I'm finding this little sticky that I have your name on. Right there. Okay, so 1 for Becky. And then Froggy, you got card number 2. All right, so let me get this out of the way and we can wrap this up. And yes, we're under 2 hours. Yay! So, again, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. If you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. It does help me in not only growing this channel, but it also helps me in growing my Stampin' Up! Business as well. Because it kind of gets my video out there where there's new people that are seeing it. So also, if you would like to be part of, if you would like to receive my monthly newsletter, I typically only do one near the beginning of the month, and I have my whole month, for the whole month, I got my video schedule on there, things that Stampin' Up's doing, things that I'm doing. If you would like to sign up for that, there is a link for my newsletter in the description. You're just adding your first and last name and your email address. And again, I only send out typically one, but if Stampin' Up! Comes out with some kind of special, there'll be another modified newsletter to let you know about what's going on. Also, there is the PDF, like I said, that paragraph right over the list of the supplies. That link takes you to my Google Drive, and there's like 88 of these things out there, and all of them have the links to take you back, to the video that I did for it. Uh, Give me a moment if you want the one for tonight. As soon as I get off here, I need to fix that, and then I'll have it back out there again. And then again, if you, anything about the paper pumpkin, if you're in North America, if you either want to subscribe, pause it, cancel it, whatever, you have until 11:59 Mountain Time tonight to do that. Let's see, and I think, 30 Christmas cards, 100 more to go. Yeah. Basically, the Christmas cards that I got or whatever I've been doing for the videos at this point. I'm really hoping to have some time to really do some different things. I do have, what is it? I got like some ornaments or something that I have to come up with for, what do you call it, for our church. Our women's Christmas dinner is like that first Friday in December. So I got to come up with something. But yeah, I got diamond painting stuff. I got cross stitch stuff. I got a lot of kits, and so a lot of things that I can end up crafting and doing. So I think that's going to kind of like be my plan for this weekend, other than going to church on Sunday. And yeah, so then there's a link for the starter kit in the description, links that takes you to the online store. And again, if being a demonstrator is something you're on the fence about, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have. So again, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I think, Donna, it's daytime there for you, isn't it? Have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys here next Friday, and I will be doing the terrific toadstools. So that's the one that's all about the mushrooms, and I'm actually going to bring in that celebration paper. I don't think you can get it anymore. I think it's gone, but I'm going to just throw that paper in with the cards that I'm going to make. I know that they did have it out there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's still available or not. At least here in the US, in North America, I'm not sure. Okay, so thank you again, everybody, and yeah, have a blessed one, and I will see you next Friday. Bye bye.